guys, I'm Charlie, Charlie Book Fanatic. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a TBR. Yes, there is going to be a separate October TBR. If that has already gone up, I will link that down below. If not, watch out for that. But this is a TBR for a readathon I'm going to do in October. This is a yearathon, and a yearathon has a monthly readathon that lasts a week. The theme for October is mental health. This readathon is going on from October 3rd to October 9th. Some books I'm going to be talking about are books I actually have on my October TBR, so I am definitely going to read them, but most of these are just options I have for this week because I'm never going to be able to read all of the books I picked out in this one week, but these are just my mental health options. First book I have on here is Dreaming of Antigone by Robin Bridges. This is about a girl who loses her older sister. Obviously, you can imagine this book is going to be about depression and grief. And I thought that was a very big thing of mental health. That may be the first thing you think about with mental health. And losing a sibling is one of my favorite tropes to read about. It sounds a bit weird, but it's something I find fascinating to read about. And I've been really wanting to read this book for the last couple of months. So if I get to it, it seems like a really cool option. Option 2 is Girls on Fire by Robin Wasserman. This is about two teenage girls who have an obsessive friendship. It starts with a suicide, and one of the girls is a good girl, and one of the girls can be considered a bad girl, and they find each other after the suicide, and they start to cause chaos and rebellion throughout their town. One of the girls has a secret, and she didn't tell the other girl, and I don't know what that secret is, it doesn't say in the synopsis, but it better be very shocking. I think it is a thriller. The mental health thing is obviously suicide, an obsessive female friendship. The third option is The Memory Book by Lara Avery. This follows a girl who has a genetic disorder where she forgets all of her memories, and she starts writing her memories down in this book. She calls the memory book so she can read it and remember them. The mental health aspect here is obviously the genetic disorder she has. The fourth option is We Are the Ants by Shaun Hutchinson. This is one of the books that is also on my October TBR. This follows a guy called Henry who gets abducted by aliens, and he gets the choice to save the world with a push of the red button. But then he meets this artist he falls in love with. This artist makes him think differently about the world, and he isn't so sure he wants to save the world, but to even get to save the world, he feels like he needs to save himself first. I think the mental health aspect here is depression. I think Henry suffers from depression. And I get that from the part where it says that Henry has to save himself first, so I guess there is some mental health thing going on there. Fifth option is How to Keep Rolling After a Fall by Carol Cotto. After a cyberbullying incident, a rugby player who is in a wheelchair starts to reform the former mean girl. This girl posted some photos on her Facebook account, and it nearly resulted in the girl who was being cyberbullied's suicide. And everyone obviously starts hating the girl who's cyberbullied, but this guy who's in a wheelchair believes everyone deserves a second chance, and he is the one who gives this girl a second chance. Mental health thing being, again, suicide. This girl obviously suffers from something, I think maybe depression, because of the things she did, like posting the pictures, but also because of her being isolated and being shut out from everybody else's lives. The sixth option is Girl in Pieces by Kathleen, Glasgow. This one is also on my October TBR. This came out at the end of August, and I've been dying to read this one. It's about a girl who slowly spirals into depression, mental health, and starts self-harming. I've never read a book about a girl who starts self-harming. I think that is a very interesting to read about. Maybe a bit hard and a bit triggering for me. This is more of a priority read. It's very high up on the list. And the last book is The Rose Society, the second book in the Young Elites trilogy by Marie Lu. This follows a girl called Adelina who slowly spirals into a villainy. So she starts out as a very confused and desperate girl. Throughout these books, she starts to become a villain character. Obviously, that has to do with mental health, because I think she's been depressed for a lot of her life because of the things her dad did to her. But I've been wanting to read the second book for a while now because The Midnight Star has come out recently, or is coming out soon. And I love the first book, The Young Elites. Alina is a very interesting character to read about because you could really see how her power starts to develop in the first book and how she already starts to show signs of becoming a villain. She obviously becomes confused, starts to lose her grip on reality, again, mental health. These are all of my options for the readathon. I'm very excited for this readathon because I think it's been a while since I read anything that deals with mental health, but I could be wrong there because I read a lot of different kind of things. So I think in almost every book there is some kind of mental health thing. I think you can classify almost anything as a mental health aspect, but I think it is a very broad topic and a very important topic. So let me know down below if you're going to participate in this readathon, or if you've read any of the books I am planning on reading during this readathon. Let me know your thoughts on them. I would love to know. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.